Thank Doc Allison for that moment. Honestly, I remember before we ever started the show, when we were getting ready for it, and you sent me that theme song, and I was like,
yeah,
this is actually
shout out to my brother and for just hitting up his homeboy Doc. And Doc's the part, he's part of the fam, he's the homie, so he literally put that thing together in 15 minutes. He made that song.
It was amazing.
He's like, how about that? And then I was like, oh, can you just do this little thing? He's like, oh yeah. And he went there, 30 seconds. Bloop. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. Freaking, no, you called me a fucking show up? You would have been annoyed by how good Doc was at making this song. So first of all, wanted to say, apologies for technical difficulties last week. Shit happens. Everybody's on the goddamn internet now because they ain't got nothing to do because that our damn president, he ain't my president, first of all.
I mean, y'all's
person
president, not our
up
president.
there
No.
he got us all out of sorts. So everybody don't know what to do but be on IGTV and shit talking about whatever. But it interfered with a few things. So
yes, but we're back better than ever on Zoom.
We still got good feedback for the 30 minutes we did. I heard great things, and I was like, but
the children were eating. That was it. We had a buffet set up and the kids were eating and they were having all of this Scream Queen, a podcast about scary movies.
Yes, from people not typically depicted in scary movies.
So yeah, thank you for sticking around with us. We decided to move this onto Zoom, but then do upload it to YouTube and then IGTV. I've been super grateful for this in the pandemic, because LA is fucked.
My dad is being a fucking kid. You hear about these little kids that come behind Zoom calls? My dad just did a moment like that. He just came out of the pool in his swim trunks and just anyway, I'm so sorry. It's really rude and immature. But
hovering.
What's happening in LA? Because I mean,
it's just it's the Wild Wild West. Cases are up 56% because they were open up the economy but don't do fucking shit and have no motherfucking regulations. People out here not wearing masks, not being socially distant, not doing hand sanitizer.
Not upset that the government isn't just paying us every goddamn month, every week to other countries, other continents, or keeping their people afloat. How do you expect people to want to come out and do shit if you don't want to help support them and in their dire needs? And, I'm just I don't have time for it. I also, I'll be back in LA shortly. We're seeing what's happening to these other countries too. The main culprits, Arizona, Texas, and Florida. Now Texas has a statewide mandatory mask rule. A statewide.
You should have been in masks, bitch. What the fuck?
Mandatory.
You know what? I want to get rid of this Rona. I want, Breonna Taylor's killers to be behind bars. There's just so many things. I don't know about. We're talking about abolition and all that.
Too much. But we got that Jelaine bitch, that Jeffrey Epstein hoe.
Oh,
Jelaine
yes.
You
saw that. I mean, aside from the news, what else are you consuming right now? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you reading? What's in the drain metabolism right now?
I woke up the other morning, 4 a.m, started flipping around, ended up on Sci-Fi, and I stumbled upon some show that looked like Duckman meets motherfucking Rick and Morty. And it's called Gary and His Demons. And the episode I saw was a dude and his brother, his super douchey bro brother with the Bluetooth. He gets ripped out of this dinner party with their parents by a demon and wings. I think one of the bitches was their date. And then she turns into a full-on, she rips her dress out. She's a full-on, suck to this bitch. And then they track him down into the woods and he's having sex. He's humping this demon, having a good time. He's go save your brother. So he's and the parents are all watching this, and I'm 4 a.m. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was intrigued, very intrigued. And so it's just a dire straits, down and out dude he's a demon slayer who doesn't want to be a demon slayer. And all the episodes are 15 minutes. They're easily digestible. And again, I don't know if you remember Duckman from back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it has that look to it. It's real gritty, and then but it's paranormal Rick and Morty.
Okay, I like that description. I've been watching a lot of Ellen DeGeneres taking celebrities through haunted houses, which is its own source of pure serotonin.
So you just see that Tiffany Haddish one. That's your first time seeing that shit?
No.
Lizzo one?
Okay, I saw the Tiffany Haddish, I saw the Lizzo one, I saw the Sarah Paulson one. As I was like, I had already sent you the Tiffany Haddish one, and then I saw the Sarah Paulson one, and I was like, actually, that is me.
No, Sarah Paulson is that's her favorite chick to scare on that show. The one where they have a it clown jump out of the box that she's getting interviewed is one of my funniest moments.
I'm just like, I remember seeing that, and I was just like, I would. First of all, after the danger passed, I would slap the shit out of this bitch. Like, I would. That is just so rude. That is so rude.
See what she's capable in those American Horror Story shows. Like, she could do some crazy ass shit.
Oh yeah, she goes there. But I really appreciated her when she would just hunker down in the middle of the thing, like lay down and just like shout at like the people in the haunted house. You're a bad person.
Away. She would just wish it away. Like, you know, just take me back somewhere else. She's a hot mess. No, it very much reminds me of you in the middle of the theater with your legs like crazy, like sex, like Kama Sutra style around your neck.
Wow, bitch. I can't help it if I'm very flexible. Okay, we don't have to put that into the equation.
Why are you trying to show me? I ain't interested like that. Like, I don't need what do you mean?
You're the one who said Kama Sutra. Nobody put Kama Sutra into this until you did.
You got your taint out in my face in the middle of the theater.
Wow, you ain't shit.
I know.
but true, honestly true.
But speaking of theaters, did you see the news about Alamo? Yeah, they're furloughed employees and staff are getting laid off now. They tried as hard as they could. Now they've moved into a digital form, so like many of their counterparts. So I've seen like they've teamed up with like Swedish filmmakers and different production companies and a lot of independent and really interesting cool shit online that it's worth looking at. But yeah, it's strange to be moving into the direction of no more theaters. Like, that's a reality for a long time.
I miss it so much. I fucking miss it. Because I remember like I was going to the Alamo like every day, and we didn't have a show where we didn't talk about what we saw at the Alamo. You know what I mean? And it just, I loved it. And it was just such an, like, I finally found, it was the first place I found in LA where I was like, oh, I fuck with it. Like, I love this place. Like, I love this place in LA, you know? Mm-hmm. And I can get there. I can like walk to the subway and then take the subway there. It's so easy. And then this motherfucking shit happened. And I mean, you know,
Too good to be true. Too good to be fucking true.
Like, one thing brought me joy in 2020, and in 2020 was like, bitch, who do you think you are?
We were having too much fun up in there in that motherfucker. Like, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Sorry, you paused. I'm gonna keep going with it. But you know, as much as we miss that, what's happening right now are drive-in theaters are getting the biggest go ever. So one thing is Tribeca just teamed up with, fuck Walmart, but all their parking lots are now going to be drive-in theaters all summer throughout, like, until August or September, and they're going to play only independent films. And you know, I'm super for that. They should have been doing that anyway, you know. Like, right over by you, Tommy, there's a drive-in they're going to play Evil Dead and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you know, it's like, I'd be there if I trusted that motherfuckers wouldn't be outside of their cars, you know. But you know, people can't just go to a thing doing too much. So anyway, that's happening with that. My parents live down the street from a drive-in, so we're gonna have to go see something. They're playing like the fucking High Note and Invisible Man, so I guess that's what we'll be seeing.
Did you see the High Note yet?
Your audios. No, I only heard your review on it, and I just haven't seen it yet. There's too much coming out.
Well, do you want to tell the children what we're talking about this evening?
I would love to do that. I also, first of all, want to say shout out to Cavity Colors again. And this is one of their shirts. And shout out to Deadly Prey. This is one of their posters. The Deadly Prey Gallery, they support Ghanaian artists, 11 in total right now. This one's by Mr. Nana, and this is a Nightmare on Elm Street 3 poster, that his reinterpretation of it.
Oh, welcome to the prime time, bitch. Yes.
Yeah. And that's one of my babies. So finally have a print that I like from them. I got one other that you guys will see eventually. But yeah, tonight we're doing A Tale of Two Motherfucking Eves. And one, a gifted special agent with serious impulse control issues. The other is wise beyond her years, but often not taken seriously, even though she keeps being put in the middle of serious ass shit. So, for our act motherfucking one.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Tommy?
I've been ready because we kind of already did this shit.
Yeah. Can you pretend? Can you act? Oh
I'm
God.
ready. I'm ready. Ooh, they're gonna, I have to talk to you about this off camera because I don't think I can say it on camera, but I have an opportunity.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay. Act 1, Killing Eve. So y'all already heard us say what we got to say, but let me give you the rundown. This stars Sandra Oh and Jodie Comer, and also we just got to Fiona Shaw deserves.
Fiona Shaw, I mean, she's fantastic. Yeah, she did this
is
shit.
Like a guiding light between them. Even when she meets, well, we'll get into it, but when she meets Jodie or Villanelle's character, she's like, "Oh, so you're the one who really runs things here," and she's like, "Yeah, I am actually."
You know, I am that. Actually, I'm that bitch.
Yeah, I'm that bitch.
That bitch.
Yes. So first up, Killing Eve. I've been obsessed with this show since jump. Like I wanted to talk about it before we even had our podcast. And I just was like, when are we going to have the opportunity? I don't know if it even fits in, if it's bloody enough or whatever. I mean, but I was tripping. I was fucking tripping. And after mentioned it to you a couple times, like I was like, listen, it's hella gay and hella violent and hella stylistic. And I'm just like, I want this. And it's two strong women. First of all, Sandra Oh, who also dipped out of Grey's Anatomy at the perfect time before it turned into trash. She's like, oh, I left my mark. I still get paid for the mention of my name. And I'm gonna go and do better shit.
You know, she is like good timing, but also like good taste. You know, yeah, I feel like taste. She was like, I see like the Asian version of like the white lady math meme where she's just like, I see actually where this is going, and you know what? I don't need to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. I figured it out. Like, there's very somebody's breaking shit in the house. Sorry. Hope Nita's okay. Yeah, there's very few people who have figured out that algorithm of like coasting a really cool career. You know, it's really hard to do that without getting roped up in, like, you might want to do that one cool job, but that one cool job might mean that you, based on your contract, that you got to do 5 other shitty jobs. You know, she somehow was always just, nope, I'm cool. I'll just leave. She took the Prince route. She's like, I'll just make up a symbol.
So like, what brought you to this, and like what sort of sustained your interest, and like what is your read of Killing Eve? Because Eve kills it. You know what I mean? Like
strong. Okay, first of all, you don't get too many strong Asian female characters in depicted like this. And she talked about, I just read an interview where Sandra talked about how she layers in her heritage into every single into her character, into every single episode. You're getting a little bit more of who she is as a person and where she comes from, even though the society around her doesn't depict that, doesn't show that. Like certain things she wears, certain things she eats, the way she kind of comes off sometimes, it comes from her culture, you know. But she's very adaptable. How was it for you to, I was excited to rewatch this show, rewatch this show, but what was it to like binge it for the first time?
I gotta say, I mean, I had been looking for an excuse to get into Killing Eve because it's just, I mean, there's just so much stuff out there. So people was like, oh, did you watch The Mandalorian? Oh, are you up on Insecure? Oh, did you watch The Outsider? Oh, like, did you see The Marvelous Mrs.
Too much
Maisel?
shit.
Oh, yeah. So there's so much of it. And so I needed an excuse to just sit with it for like just a week and consume only Killing Eve. And I guess like what I came with, gay, it's like essentially a love story, but like when you have a crush on somebody, I think it's called a crush because it feels like they could crush you if they don't return your feelings. And so I think like this, like, it's almost like because it feels so dangerous to admit your feelings to somebody you're crushing on. It feels like they could end me. Like I could die if they didn't return my affection. And I think Killing Eve does what so much great horror does, which is it turns that subtext into text. Mm-hmm. So she could literally die anytime she's around Villanelle. That's a tension that's woven into the show because Sandra Oh is obsessed with serial killers, with female serial killers. And so she has the opportunity to like interact with one. And there's something so intoxicating and attractive about her, and also something so dangerous. And it's just like, that's what a crush always feels like. Like there's something that's like unprecedented. It's unlike anything else, but it also feels like I could die. Like you could kill me. Except in Killing Eve, she literally could. Like Villanelle could kill Eve at any time. And I always felt that tension when they were in a scene together because you saw, homegirl get slick and just like slice somebody up just like that.
Oh, I mean, again, when I watched it, when it first came out, so I had to watch episode to episode, which I don't normally do, and that it was hard. Like that show, like every episode ended hella dramatic.
I mean, I don't know, Dre, to have patience like that.
But I finally I had to break down because I heard so much about the first episode. I'm like, fine, I'm just gonna watch it. And I watch, I'm like, shit, now I gotta wait for the next episode. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wait like 3 weeks. And then I couldn't do it. And it was very, like, somehow they did that perfect blend of, it's very soap opera, but perfect amount of drama. And like you said, it brings up those old crush feelings. And it takes me back to like teenage years, like adolescence, because they're both so naive in certain ways, as skilled and mature and wise as they are in what they do when it comes to love and all that. Like they don't fucking know shit.
Yeah, because even though they're mature, even though they're adults, there's still something very primal.
Yes, this is all brand new to them. And like upon first watch, I felt the same way you did. Upon second watch, it was still tension. Like why does Sandra feel like she can just walk up on this bitch like this? Third watch, I'm like, I'm starting to see like they just get each other, and that's what it's like. It's true love. Like they see each other in something's eyes. When she puts, even though I would have knocked the shit out of Sandra with that scene where they're going to save that annoying ass skinny dude from in the field. He's getting chased down by Villanelle, and and Sandra comes she's like, come this way, we'll be in the car. She's got her homegirl in the back, other dude in the back, and they're like, bitch, drive. She's like, oh, I'm gonna go outside of the car and wave at this bitch. And she's pointing a gun at me. Again, all that is just like, no, that doesn't quite work. But the only reason that works is because these two individuals were made for each other.
Yes, I mean, because what is legible above anything is that they feel connected, and that connection is like umbilical, like it's inextricable, like they can't cut off from each other. And like, even when the relationship, well, I was going to say when the relationship gets toxic, but it's like literally they try to murder each other. Like at certain points, like, they literally, they want to like end each other's lives. Like there's still something that comes that they can't substitute with anybody else. I mean, with Sandra, a lot of it has to do with the exhilaration, I think, of this sociopath, of this psychopath, of this person who's unpredictable to her. And I think, so it's like with the exhilaration, I think with Eve, it's like the sense of peace that she gets around, with Villanelle, it's a sense of peace that she gets around Eve.
There's a simpatico there. It's peace, but it's just like, oh, I see myself in you and I haven't seen this, or there's no fear in your eyes. when you see me. You're just trying to understand me. You're not afraid of me. Just like the daughter of Constantine, they have a very special relationship, like from get-go. Like, and all the women in this show all have these connections. Caroline, Fiona Shaw's character, her and Eve have a relationship. Like, Eve is fucking nuts but smart, and Caroline recognizes that in her and guides her, you know, through, because Caroline's too cool. She's too fucking chill, you know. And I was still, I guess she kind of did explode at the end of season 3 after her son dies and everything like that. But you're waiting.
Do you remember when Carolyn was in the car and
Carolyn
Eve pulls up to her and is like, or not Eve, Villanelle, sorry. Villanelle pulls up to her and like, looks like she's going to shoot Carolyn. And it ends up shooting the dude in the back seat. I feel like that was the fear of God getting thrown into Carolyn. Like, she was shaky afterwards. Also got to give it up to homegirl who played fucking lesbian Greyjoy on Game of Thrones.
Oh,
who was Carolyn's
yeah.
daughter.
And she got I forgot that was her. Yep. I didn't know it was her. And
because her character is so different, because the actress is so good that the character was nothing like the Game of Thrones character.
Okay, wait. Okay, so that the daughter is okay, that's wonderful. Who's the chick? I was about to get mad if she was the biker chick or the chick who got teamed up with Villanelle and who she kills in the subway. I'm like, that's so mean. But no, okay, I was like, why do I know the girl's face? Carolyn's daughter. And that's why.
I felt the same way, because I was like, who is this woman? I know her from somewhere, but I did not recognize her at all.
She's amazing. She was such a badass in Great Game of Thrones. She should have ran everything at the end. Like, fuck. But I don't even want to think about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we don't have to get into the end of that.
You don't get no time on this show, Game of Thrones.
No, we don't have to do this. We don't have to go there, because that could be a whole episode about how I motherfucking hate. So anyway.
Okay, but so obviously the best thing about this show are the kills, you know, tacky to say, but they are amazing. We covered some of them, but I feel like, you know, we could still just go ahead and just do a rundown of, you know, who we like. So, you know, how about you start off with, you know, again, let's just run down.
Yeah. Because like so few people actually saw our IG Live TV show. It wasn't as many people that are going to end up viewing this because it didn't end up getting saved. My first kill, my first favorite kill was the homeboy who got the pen in his eye. I think it was the first episode.
Kill.
I think it was the first kill, because I can't do, like, as a person who I mean, there's a lot I can't do with scary movies. Obviously, I'm a jumpy bitch. But like, when it's like things in eyes or like things in hands specifically, I'm just like, I can't. I'm actually
stabbing, close stabbing, any of that freaks me out. Me out. And specifically, I have a thing about pins. I've had dreams about people being stabbed, not me stabbing people with pins, but people being like stabbed in school and shit. Like, I would have dreams of school and like kids, like, because that happened in one of my schools, actually. I saw somebody get stabbed with a pin, so that's a whole nother story.
Are you in a Dangerous Minds school? What's going on?
Oh, public school, bitch. Public school in the 90s. Hey. Where was Michelle Pfeiffer to save us from that bullshit? So yeah, that for sure. That was my favorite kill. Watching it, even the second time I watched the season, I was like, damn, that's a good kill. So pretty. The whole lead up to it, so awesome. The fact that she goes into his closet, wears his wife's dress, brings in his grandson who's right behind the door to come and discover his body.
What is up with Villanelle and kids?
And looking at people's eyes. I mean, she's just lacking in something. It's her lack of childhood, Tommy. She wants to. No, really, she's just a bitch, and she's like, my childhood got stolen, so I want to steal yours too.
Yeah, she's like, I'm corrupting these kids from jump. Like,
so that one's a humdinger. My favorite one from the jump is the perfume kill. I love the perfume kill.
That perfume kill hits different in the quarantine, I gotta say. Because, like, it's a respiratory pandemic. I'm already feeling like tightness of breath, like, in anxiety. And then, like, that lady sprays the perfume in her face, and she's like, and I was like, oh no, am I doing it too?
But I also love the fact that she was playing into like this woman's vanity, you know, like, oh, I named it after you, and this woman didn't have time for it, and she doesn't give a fuck. First of all, Villanelle will go and talk to any motherfucker, like, and she'll just play into their shit.
Well, in terms of like words and staging, like it's playing on her vanity while she's at a literal vanity. Like she's sitting down in front of the mirror.
A vanity.
Yes.
You know, my ass didn't even notice that, right? That's great. That's great. Yeah. And that first season is written by Phoebe WallerBridge, and who we have to give, you know, some commendation towards, because she's the shit. She's really cool. I really like what she did with that season.
Killing it.
And what's your next kill?
So my next kill is, well, there's the one when in terms of, I love me some dramatic tension where we know something that the character doesn't know. So when that dude goes to, I think it's season 1, the dude goes to, it's like Berlin maybe, he goes to like the sex dungeon to get, you know, beat up a little bit. And they tell him his safe. Yeah, and he tell him his safe word and all that kind of stuff. And like, obviously the person is gonna be Villanelle, right? And so he is getting into he's voluntarily
another good ass wig just to mention.
He's like voluntarily getting into this situation wherein he's vulnerable in front of Villanelle. We know who she is, he doesn't know. And I feel like I was just like, you know, my jumpy ass, I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen to this man?
You actually retain some of those organs that I don't have, so I
got a couple of testes on my body.
I got that situation. So I'm over here like, that must be uncomfortable.
Ooh, yeah, no, I felt it. I felt it.
She said clamp. She said clamp.
And so my whole spirit was like, oh! That was me.
If I felt it, then I know you felt it. Like that was a humdinger. And,
yeah, that took me out. I was like, I have to watch Bob's Burgers.
And like, his safe word was like Cthulhu.
And you ain't shit.
You're like, bitch, there ain't no safe word in this room. And also I mentioned the wig, and I just want to go back real quick and just mention, I just want to give a shout out to Miss Charlotte Mitchell, the costume designer for this show, because the costumes are just as important to every character and to every episode as the writing itself. Like, she did such a beautiful job, right, Tommy? Like,
I mean, it's funny because like you watch it and it like fits so well into the visual feast of the world that we're in. But then like I'll look at it like, but it'd be like, but if I saw this woman walking down this is not an innocuous costume, and she's trying to fit in, but she looks stunning. I would just be obsessed with her.
She wants to stand out. By standing out, she fits in. You know,
I mean, and that's the whole difference. I think it's like, isn't the third season where there's is it third or second season where there's that other assassin Ghost who like
season.
Not, and she's not ostentatious in her assassinations. You don't
know who it is until they run up on her.
Right.
You don't even know.
And Eve, I mean, and Villanelle, no, she wants you to know. She wants to stand out. She's where
somebody. Homegirl runs up on her in Amsterdam and is like, "Oh, can I take a picture of you?" And she's like, "Absolutely not. Like, get a fucking job. Get a fucking job." It's the best thing in the world. Okay, my next kill is Nadia, because she got killed like twice, 3 times. This bitch. Villanelle took her job, is what you come to learn, and then took her position. That where Villanelle's at as this assassin is where this chick's, but Nadia is supposed to be at. And then next time she meets her, Villanelle runs her over, thinks she kills her, and then that stressful ass part, those episodes in the prison where she eventually ends up killing her again.
I'm just like, this Nadia must be feline, because how many lives does she have? She has so many lives.
Why is this your line of work, Nadia?
love yourself. Like,
you could have gone in the countryside, girl. Come on. But that didn't happen.
No,
and yeah, so
Nadia breaks my heart. Yeah, Nadia breaks my heart. I had another one that was, speaking of the countryside, when Villanelle goes back home, and she realized, and like, you know, there's like a real serious emotional beat there, where she's like trying to find her family, and I think she thinks that like if she finds a connection, she will somehow no longer be a psychopath. Mm-hmm. But then she kind of realizes like her mom ain't shit. And she's like, I think I have to kill you, Mom. And Mom's like,
oh yeah, I gotta kill you. Yeah, you're a bitch.
but I loved it because I love those. It wasn't that her experience was ultimately forsaken. It was rewarding because she actually found a connection with her brother and with her little nephew or whoever.
Cousin.
I didn't really know what the connection there was.
John.
Yeah. And so she like puts on the gas, like first like murders her mama somehow, puts on the gas, blows up the house, but knows that her brother is staying in the farmhouse, and that like she tells the little kid, go to the farmhouse, there's something special for you. And it's just like a shit ton of money to go see Elton John. And I was like, I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not a crying bitch. I don't do this. But it was, I felt that emotion.
I did too. That was sweet. My next one is Death by Knitting Needle. Yeah. So when after she gets stabbed by Eve in season 1, she is trying to get her shit together, looking like a hot ass mess. Villanelle's running around season 2. She gets picked up by this dude, Julian, who was in, I was trying to think of his name when we were talking about What We Do in the Shadows. But the guy that picks her up that looks like, and remember in the grocery store, nobody gives her the time of the day, and then she picked this guy. And he turns out to be a bigger creep than she is.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
His name's Julian. His real name's Julian Barrett. And he's from a show called The Mighty Boosh. And Matt Berry was on that show a bunch of times from What We Do in the Shadows, who played Laszlo. Anyway, that whole scene was awesome. Like she was powerless and watching her like that, and like stuck with this his mother with dementia, trying to get out of this house.
That was because it was a nice like reversal of fortune, right? Because we're so used to her being
manipulating everybody else
and hyper competent, and seeing the play seeing the chess match like 10 plays beforehand.
Yeah,
you know, and to watch her like actually like be like, I don't know if I'm gonna get out of this.
Mm-hmm. She's like, oh bitch, what did I just do to myself? I just got caught up. But
also in a show that is like full of like strong female leads, there are like, it's like Eve and that, remember when she got that other handler after Constantine? And you're just like, there are these men who try to have power trips, and it's like, I can't wait to watch you die. Like,
it was Raymond, and those Raymond. Oh yeah. Oh, Raymond was a piece of shit.
Man, that fucking.
What was your next?
My number 1, my favorite kill of the whole season was when Eve axed that man in the back.
Well, that's Raymond.
Yeah,
that's the handler.
Because I've been waiting for him to meet his end, because he was a fucking bitch. And there were small interventions where we saw Eve almost give in to a kind of a psychopathic fury to kill a man, like that dude on the subway. Mm-hmm. And her,
several times she's been thinking about it.
So her ultimate ability to complete this act is to save the woman she loves. And then what becomes perverted about that is that she realizes that Villanelle had a gun the whole time and could have just taken that motherfucker out, and wanted her to be a killer. Yeah. And that was like, because
it was in her the whole fucking time. And that's the bottom line. I mean,
I do believe that, but I believe, but it felt like such a betrayal, because it was a moment where she ultimately did something that, like, I don't think she actually,
Yeah.
Did it was out of love, and then she realized that she had been manipulated, and I felt that betrayal so hard.
Yeah, I guess my third time watching it, like, I'm over it now, but I got it the first 2 times. But I forget that I cared the first 2 times, and now it's just like, bitch, whatever, get over it. Just get together. Like, just
we got you, Karen. We got you, Karen. We got you, Karen.
I got a hoard.
Crying support.
Right here somewhere.
Yeah.
You
got another kill?
Yeah, I'll just run through a few of mine just to be done with them just real quick, and you just give me a little nod or whatever.
All right.
So, Death on Display was fun. Where homegirl, with the piggy costume and
that's that Amsterdam shit. Yeah.
And then he's like, and then just finds out that his wife set the whole thing up for her to watch him get killed. Wonderful.
Loved it.
Death by Bus was crazy when she pushes home that group leader, whatever, in front of the, and while Sandra watches.
Oh, yeah.
Just to let you know, I'm still a crazy bitch. Well, you got something to say about that?
I want to piggyback off of that. Was that when she was pretending to be a New Yorker?
Yeah.
Okay, that actress has so many good accents. New Yorker wasn't the one.
It wasn't it.
It wasn't the one.
You know what I did with that episode? I kind of fast forwarded just to that scene because that was the most significant scene in it. But yeah, she had too much German and Spanish and all that other shit going on.
I was like, honey, I love you. I don't know what this accent is.
I watched her on the Graham Norton show talking about they just would throw accents at her. And I'm like, oh, wow. I mean, she did a really amazing job with a lot of them. But I'm like, but the main thing that came to mind is like, nobody can do autumn accents. Like,
you can't do autumn accent. There are like a couple you ain't gonna get. I'm sorry. Like, you speak other languages. You know what I mean? You know how to act. But like that
you're a talented bitch, but yeah, you did not nail that. As much as they get on our case about not getting their fucking accent right, like, fuck y'all. Like, everybody else goes off on us. Like, we get to do it too. They don't get
it wasn't an American accent in general, and it especially was not a New York accent.
It was confused. It was like a Madonna English. It was like Madonna meets Gwyneth Paltrow, goes to the UK, comes back to.
Yeah, it was very, like, you're right. It was like a Madonna trying on an identity and not really nailing
Lindsay Lohan
it.
was in there too, because she thought she was like freaking from Istanbul or some shit. So. Another one, Death by Elevator, the knockoff tie, pulls homeboy through. That was fun. Fuck him.
I also liked how she tried to play it off because this was deep ghost territory where they were like, oh, there's this other person. And she was like, it was so innocuous and natural. And he was like, you think that's a natural death? My God, bitch. Like,
really. Okay, another one. Let's see. Oh, Duct Tape. So this goes back to Nico, and there's a whole thing going on with Eve. So Eve and Nico were just best friends. They were never like a real full on, like, they just love buddy besties. And when he starts fucking around on her, I get why he got mad at her, but I also I'm like, she's so amazing. You should just ride with her. And
I know.
With that big titty cat owning bitch. I'm
Gemma,
like,
whatever.
Yeah, Gemma. I'm like, you are so in the way, so annoying, and I just could not stand any of that shit. So I loved when she just got taken out. That shit was hilarious. And
when she got suffocated in the storage space.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Fuck her. And then the worst one though, the meanest death to me. We talked about this because you were thinking about what was the most ruthless death. And I think honestly to me was the beginning. It was not the beginning, maybe the second or third episode of season 3, where she gets hired in Spain to kill a bitch who's like a pianist, and then she kills the nanny, and like she's like torturing her, like, oh, and I'm gonna kill the baby. Oh, I'm gonna kill you, and then she kills her. I just think that was really mean. Like,
what are we doing, Villanelle? Really? And she killed her with like a tuning fork because that woman was.
Yeah, I had a tuning looking blade. It was like, I don't know what the fuck is that going on. So yeah, those are my kills.
I want to end with this one, which was like I felt like was the most tragic one, even though when Homeboy got taken out in season 1 in the club, you know what I mean? Like Eve's friend.
Oh yeah.
My least, it wasn't that it wasn't a satisfying kill, but like my least favorite death, the one that I kind of felt the most was fucking Fiona Shaw's little boy.
Yeah. Well, I guess because I lost Bill, I'll be honest, because I guess I was distracted when I watched it. I was sad. I was shocked. I was shocked when he died. I'm like, what the fuck? But at the same time, I was just like, after Bill got killed in season 1, I was just like, anything can happen after this.
Any of these motherfuckers could go at any time. That was like their Game of Thrones moment.
Yeah.
You know,
they did that early on. So I was I was ready for that. But I didn't like it. But yeah.
But Constantine did that shit, right? Constantine did that shit?
Yeah. That's why he was behind it. He had like a way to prevent it or whatever, but he had something to do with it. Oh, fuck. But anyway, I just that is our, the wrap up for Killing Eve. And I don't know if season 4 is coming on the way, but I'm here for it though. I hope there's like scissoring in it. That would be dope. Anyway, Act 2.
Shall we get into the next section? I put on my ring light because it's getting a little dark in my apartment. So our Scream Queen this week is Jurnee Smollett Belle.
Just Jurnee Smollett. Who's that Belle?
She can ring my bell, I'll tell you that much. In the 1997 supernatural drama Eve's Bayou, written and directed by Casey Lemon, starring literally, I love a movie that has no white people in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, the black cast, and I'll just give a quick rundown of the black cast. Debbie Morgan, Lynn Whitfield, Diane Carroll, Sam Jackson, Vondi Curtis Hall, Branford Marsalis, Megan Good, Lisa Nicole Carson, Victoria Rao, and Miss Jurnee Smollett.
I forgot that Megan Good was in this. I hadn't seen it in a very long time. Also, I did not recognize her as that other, like, I was like, that woman looks so familiar. And then it was like, oh yes, as the other, like, sort of like witch character. You know, when a movie starts out, The Summer I Killed My Father, that it's about to be some shit. It's
Southern. And it's Southern.
And it's on the Bayou. I mean, it's a very particular Louisiana Creole Southern.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like a world that we don't often get to see depicted from the perspective of Black people. Like, we get some of that Cajun or whatever. We get some of that.
We get that Tennessee Williams, that kind of version of it, but never.
Or the Anne Rice, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we don't really get this from the Black perspective. So I appreciated that. I was texting this to Drea that, like, it is like when you can remember watching Eve's Bayou and seeing Jurnee in this, and then also watching Birds of Prey and being like, fuck, it's been a long time. Like, that little girl has grown up, and like, I was like a teenager and would like, you know, like, ooh, I'm old.
I know. But we ain't old. And that's all I got to say about that movie.
I mean, I don't have wrinkles yet. Like, I don't have, you know what I mean? Like, the doll looks good.
Oh, you're gorgeous. But overall, like, I think, like, my take, even though I know this film is not a horror film quintessential, I know that the elements of it based in voodoo, based in the fact that this child's dealing with all these very adult topics. My mother, I watched this with Nita, and we were giving Sam Jackson different names throughout it. Like, you know, he's just Dr. Ho.
Dr. Ho. When I saw that I saw Dr. Ho in the doc, and I was like, man, Drea. He's
such a hoe. He just give a little dick around town. Oh, what you need, girl? You don't need no rubber tussy. You just need a little dick. Such a mess.
Because he's like laying it on Lisa Nicole Carson, who at the same time that this was out, she was like America's sweetheart in Ally McBeal.
Ally McBeal, yeah. Yeah, she just so stunning. And yeah, so just too many gorgeous Black women. I also
Lynn Whitfield.
Lynn always. Lynn still
like,
looked like that. Lynn still Diane Carroll in this. But Diane Carroll had the white makeup. She was having a fucking time of her life, just scaring everybody. That shit was hilarious.
But the thing about Lynn in this movie, like Lynn is like, she's not chewing the scenery. She is like devouring it whole. Like,
I mean, that's what she does.
Like old Hollywood glamour at every take. She's just like,
she was made for that. And you know, if you want to go back and, you know, not, she's always been doing that, but if you want to go back to something, Thin Line Between Love and Hate, hilarious as fuck. Go ahead and watch that. Before we lose our time, I also want to just throw in there that the director of this film, Casey Lemons, was also the co-star in Candyman. She was the main Black female character alongside whatever the white lady, what was it, Virginia Madsen. She's in there. I hope she lives. I can't remember if the Black girl lives in it. Probably not.
We'll have to watch it again, and then maybe we can make her our screen queen some week.
She had to be, but she also, Miss Casey Lemons is also, or it's either Casey or Cassie. I think
Casey. I made sure to look it up because you keep clowning me on how I pronounce people's names.
Yes. Yo, you know I will, and you'll do the same. She's also the director of Harriet, which just came out most recently with Cynthia Erivo, and she did the Madam C.J. Walker special on Netflix most recently. And she's also was the girl that Nicolas Cage takes home in Vampire's Kiss before Alonzo comes in as a bat. Oh no, she's not the bat. There's other bitches the bat. We gotta cover that movie.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
It's gonna get a whole episode because that shit is amazing to me.
I'm just gonna tell you, my final note on Eve's Bayou is when Lynn Whitfield tells them kids to stay inside the house. I got major quarantine trigger.
When the kids
can't go nowhere, and I was
hit by a bus and they celebrate. It's not us.
It's all good. It was somebody else.
We can go outside now. Somebody else got hit. No, fuck.
Yeah, that was like major Rona vibes. You know what I mean? Like I was not ready for. I forgot that was a part of the plot. The kids not being able to go outside because she and her sister had like a vision, and then she had gone to Diane Carroll about some shit, and I was like, oh yeah, that must be traumatizing for kids to have to stay in the house for 3 fucking days. Meanwhile,
it felt like it had been how long? Because when they said that shit, I was just like, I thought it would have been like a month or two. And anyway, there was the movie and the characters, the story, it's beautiful. The music is lovely. Growing up in that movie at the age that I saw it when I was about Jurnee's age. So, and I hadn't seen any other characters like that once again at that time. So to have a character like that talking about things that were very similar to me and surrounded by people that looked like me, you know, and she was talking like me. She was getting in trouble constantly, and I'm so that kid in my family.
You don't say. I can't imagine that on you.
Oh, shucks. Yeah, listen, you act up, I will call your ass out because I don't give a fuck. That's how that goes.
Speaking of the music, so unrelated fact, Deborah Cox's How Did You Get Here was filmed at that house because the director of that movie loved Eve's Bayou. Or the director of that music video loved Eve's Bayou.
And the narrator is the lady that does all the autopsies on Law & Order SVU, the black lady with the curly hair. Narrator.
Oh. Was Nita the one who told you that?
Nah, that's called My Eyeballs, and I dropped that on Nita. And I was like, why do I know that name? And why do I know that voice? And I'm like, Nita, you know who that voice is?
You gave her some SVU trivia that she didn't know.
I know. That the world is changing, baby. It is flipped up on its head.
Should we close this out now?
Yes, we should, babe. So I just want to say that you can catch us next week, same time, or whenever we decide to drop this shit.
You'll know.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Tommy's choice for main discussion is Vast of Night, which you can catch on Amazon if you want to watch, you know, and know what we're talking about. And our Scream Queen of the Week is going to be
Sadie Nenewa from Girl with All the Gifts.
There you go.
Yeah. So Scream Queen is produced by Alexandra De Palma at Domino Sound.
With theme music by Doc Allison. And I am Drea Stay Ready Washington. and you can find me at Hey Girl Hey.
I'm Tommy Tees Pico. You can find me at Hey Teebs. I'm Tommy from the block. Like
Tommy gets around the block. Tommy be getting that block.
Tommy attacked the block. I don't get around this block.
Okay. And and you can find us on Instagram at Scream Queen Podcast.
And online at screeemqueenpodcast.com.
And send us love notes at Scream Queen at gmail.com. That's SCREEEM queen at gmail.com.
That's the triple E. And in the scary movie of your life,
you better scream queen.
Queen.
I think we got it.
We did that shit. I have to fucking write an outline before tomorrow. Like, it sucks. But thank you. I mean, this is like one of the favorite parts of my whole week. I got to tell you, like, getting to cut it up.
I love you, Tommy.
I love you too. And you know what?
You guys enjoyed.
We should be soft in this. Yes.